Very appropriate, the great pretender Freddie Mercury, because we've been getting theatrical this morning with our own West Yorkshire production of Shakespeare. Now, it's all to mark the launch of a special production of A Midsummer Nights Dream, which will tour the UK in the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death next year. Now, earlier on, we spoke to Alan Hall. He's a former English teacher from Leeds, and he says because of modern teaching, the Bard is as popular as ever.
I think the way in which it's treated in schools these days is probably a lot better than when I went to school a million years ago and had it then, when it was all, you know, very sonorous and, you know, and gloomy, and you know, it was all Laurence Olivier and Richard Burton and that kind of thing. But I think things have moved on now, and so you've got things like Lenny Henry playing Othello. You've got Maxine Peake, wonderful actor, doing a female version of Hamlet and so on. And all that kind of thing makes it just so much more interesting than perhaps it was in the past. I'm not blaming people in the past for doing it like that, for teachers doing it like that, but as a teacher these days, you've got so many more resources to do it with. You've got things like DVDs, you can take kids to really good productions and so on. If they're taught well, then in fact it comes as a revelation to them. I've had kids, and when I've seen really good teaching going on, when I've been a head teacher and watched younger teachers teaching it, then often what students say is, I didn't realise it'll be like this. This is great. I thought it'd be dead boring, but it's not.
Right.
But it depends how the teacher does it.
It's anything but boring. So we have been getting all theatrical this morning with our own West Yorkshire production of Shakespeare. And here for you is just a snippet.
From Fife, great king, where no weighing banners flout the sky and fan our people cold.
Henry V said, once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more.
If it were done, 'twere best done quickly and in the heat.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Oh, it's just beautiful, and we'll play the rest of that for you later. If you want to get involved in our very special West Yorkshire production of Shakespeare, 0345 303 3333. So we're marking this special production of A Midsummer Nights Dream. It will tour the UK next year. The show comes to Bradford, Alhambra next April, and it's going to feature actors from amateur group Leeds Arts Centre. And 4 members of that company are with me now in the studio. Director Ken Taylor, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Rachel Brewin.
Hello, good morning.
Barry Green.
Good morning.
And Ed Corbet.
Good morning.
So, Ken, you're the director.
Yes.
So we don't really need to talk to you. No, I'm joking. We do want to hear from the actors, though. This is such an exciting opportunity to get to work with the RSC. How on earth has this come about, Ken?
Well, we were invited to submit a bid to audition, which we did at the Alhambra Theatre back in March, and our audition was successful. We were then invited to go down to Nottingham for another round of auditions, in which we were successful. And so we've finally been selected to act with the RSC as the mechanicals. That's bottom, snout, flute, starveling, snug, and quince in the Alhambra Theatre in Bradford in April next year.
They are fantastic parts, and we've just been talking off air. Rachel, what an amazing opportunity. And these aren't tiny little parts. The mechanicals are an important part of Midsummer Nights Dream, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost like a play within a play, and we put on a play for the Duke.
You do
and
Pyramus and Thisbe at the end, don't you?
Yes,
Beautiful.
we do. And we're all completely terrified that we're going to get our heads cut off after we've done this play or hung out to dry. So there is kind of an undercurrent as well of fear. So, you know, they're layered parts. We have lines, we talk, and we interact with the professional cast as well. So it's really, really exciting.
Is it? So you're playing Starveling.
Yes.
Barry Green is playing Bottom. I'm going to come back to you, Barry. And Ed Corbett, who are you playing?
I'm playing Snug.
Right, now tell me about the very fact that you're going to be on stage with the RSC in this. Because, if I'm honest, when I heard about this project, I thought, oh, they'll just be walking on in the background carrying spears. Playing these characters, it's a massive role, isn't it?
It's incredible, yeah. I mean, I would have taken second spear character if they offered it, but no, absolutely. When they said, I mean, the mechanicals are a entire subplot within the play, so they're very important, especially the part Barry's playing. But we're there to sort of add layers to it and sort of a break from the main plot, as it were.
Well, comic relief.
You are absolutely comic. Oh, and that's why they're called the Rude Mechanicals. Now, Barry, I've left you till last because you're playing Bottom. Bottom has to be one of the greatest roles that Shakespeare ever wrote. Tell me about how excited you are to be doing that.
Well,
obviously I'm so excited. My feet haven't touched the ground yet. When we found out that we'd been successful from the Nottingham audition 2 week tomorrow, all of us have just been up in the air, in the clouds, and his feet haven't touched the ground. I mean, it's such an honour for us to actually represent Yorkshire in this production, this historic production, of course, which is next year, and to be able to do it with probably the most famous theatre group in the world, the RSC.
Absolutely.
No wonder his feet haven't touched the ground. So,
and
yeah, very simple. It's,
Bottom goes through some interesting changes in the play, doesn't he? What happens to Bottom?
It does. It gets transformed into an ass.
Of course.
During the play. And one thing leads to another, and it falls for Titania, who is the Queen of Fairies. And they have this sort of relationship. And as Rachel said, it's a play within a play. And basically, it's this sort of dream romance. And that's basically what it's all about.
Where the title
and
comes
then
from.
we're lucky enough to perform in front of the Duke of Athens on his wedding day at night.
It's just an amazing play. We'll get Ken to tell us a bit more about the plot. But Barrett, you've actually received high praise from Erica Wyman from the RSC already. Just have a listen to this.
The group from Bradford, representing Yorkshire, they're a fabulous group. Barry, who's going to play Bottom, has got the most amazing voice. He's quite a diminutive fellow, and he's got a huge voice that could fill the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. So he was very exciting to watch.
There you go, Erica Wyman, very exciting. Go on, Rachel, you can clap for it.
Obviously, I've never heard that before, so yeah, they're fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and absolutely fantastic to people to meet who would never dream of meeting over the period of the auditions.
Well, it's going to be amazing to see you on the stage of the Alhambra. Ken, tell us about the play then. So I'm suddenly aware that I know the play well, and I've explained that you better explain properly exactly what happens in this play.
Well, it's set in Athens, Shakespeare's version of Athens, which is remarkably similar to Elizabethan England. And without going into too much detail, there are a number of couples who are involved with each other, and the fairies, principally Puck, start with magic to mix people up and get the couples intertwined. And amidst all this mayhem that's going on, the mechanicals are invited to put on a play for the Duke of Athens at his wedding night. The downside of that is if the play's no good, that they're going to be executed. So it does let some...
It's all to play for them, basically.
It is really. It's quite a big match, yeah. So and it shows that our part in the play shows their coming together and their rehearsals, and then Bottom, of course, is hied off to get his ass's head on, and he has a little bit of a time with the Queen of the Fairies, and then he comes back to the joy of the rest of the group who thought they were missing their leading man, and the final thing is that they perform Pyramus and Thisbe, which...
And they don't perform it brilliantly, do they, Rachel?
Well, I think we do.
Well, the idea is it's supposed to be a bit of a mess, I guess.
The thing is they don't get executed, so it must go off okay. So, yeah, we've had great fun putting this together. We really have, as well as what's at stake here, which is immense. It's like the Sunday football team playing for Brazil.
You know, that's exactly what it's like. And
yeah.
Rachel, are you starting to feel that pressure? I know it's a year away, but are you starting to feel the fact that you're going to go on with the RSC at the Alhambra?
Obviously, well, not at the moment, but even experiencing the auditions, you know, we'd do the play, and then the directors would give us a little bit of direction, telling us to look at things from a different perspective, and it would completely transform our performance. So I'm really excited about what they're going to do with, I mean, Ken is a fantastic director as well, but he was very aware that he didn't want to over-direct us. He wanted to keep it quite flat, so they could play with us. And it's just really exciting what happened. It's like the magic happened at the audition. So imagine what is going to happen during those intense auditions over the next few months. We're going to learn loads, and it's just going to be a fabulous experience.
Ed, you're playing Snug, and you're going to get to work with like some of the world's greatest directors and actors. Again, just what an incredible experience.
Absolutely. It's the whole way I've looked at this entire experience. I mean, we're an amateur theatre group. We do at a low level this all the time. It's basically a chance to do the thing we love to the max. You know, bigger theatre, professionals, world-class directors who've worked with people that we've only heard of. We know them, we've never seen them, and now we get to work with them. And it's the sort of thing that none of us ever thought we'd ever get to do. So when this opportunity came along, we're like, yes, we're going for that, absolutely. We'd be mad not to.
But we thought, never in a million years are we going to get it. And now we're here, so it's kind of a, sorry for the pun, dream come true.
You are that beautiful.
I mean, we all kept his feet firmly on the ground. And like Ken said, in the early stages, going back late February into March, if we get through the paper sift, that'll be a great achievement in itself. Then we got the news some weeks after that we'd got through it. And invited to a workshop with the RSC and obviously the audition at Bradford. And then we were all together as a group. If we get through this, then it's been a fantastic weekend experience we've had there. Then we get the good news that we're going to Nottingham to meet Erica Wyman, of course. And if we get through this, then this is going to be fantastic. If not, we've had such a wonderful, wonderful experience along the way. And that's how it's all panned out to this moment in time.
And now you're there.
Meeting you this morning, Nick. And it's just been...
Obviously, that's the most exciting bit. So let's talk about...
Of course.
What's the biggest stage that you've been on previously, Barry?
Ooh, now then. As a young child, I did appear on the Grand Theatre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Leeds.
Alhambra, that's going to be a piece of cake for you then.
Well, no, not really. I mean, when we went the other day to do a photo shoot and a video, you just stood on the stage, the bare stage, and the depth of it. And I just looked out to the auditorium, which was all lit up for the photo shoot, and I just went, oh my God. And it was just so absolutely fantastic experience. But having said that, we felt so much at home as well.
Wow, so you're going to be standing on that stage next April performing to hundreds and hundreds of people. This morning you've inspired us to do a West Yorkshire Shakespeare play, so I'm going to need some Shakespeare from you. Oh, Ken's nodding away. Who's got some Shakespeare they can share with us?
My favourite Shakespeare line is the one where Shakespeare... People have been saying today that he's irrelevant today and one thing and another. He's always relevant, and he... asked for, if you like, the invention of the film camera in the prologue to Henry V, when he said, "Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention.
A kingdom for a stage, princes to act and monarchs to behold the swelling scene." It's just amazing, isn't it? Rachel, go on, give us a bit of Shakespeare. No? OK, Barry?
This is just a couple of lines from Bottom's speech when he awakes in the wood. When me cue comes, call me and I'll answer. Me next is most fair Perimus. And then it follows on with the rest of the speech.
Beautifully done. If you've got one, L345 303 3333.